You are listening to Comedy Club for Kids presents Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense, Radio Nonsense. There is my pumpkin. Is that a good way to start a podcast? I found a website that said, here's some fun ways to greet people. And the first one was, there is my pumpkin. But surely that's only a good way to say hello to a pumpkin, especially if you've lost it. I don't think I've ever lost a pumpkin before, but if I did, I think when I found it, I might say, there is my pumpkin. But I'd probably more likely say, how did I lose such a big orange round thing? I must be an absolute stupid head. Well, that is how today's Radio Nonsense podcast is going to start. There is my pumpkin! And welcome to the official Comedy Club for Kids podcast, suitable for all ages from 6 to 99. But look, under no circumstances whatsoever is this for 100-year-olds. Bog off, centenarians! There is my pumpkin. But look, I know I can hear all those 100-year-olds go, but what about the 101-year-olds that listen, or the 123-year-olds, or the 6,004-year-olds? Yeah, look, of course they can listen, because they aren't 100-year-olds, obviously. How can you be 100 years old and not even understand basic rules? Ugh, you are the worst. But look, as long as you're not 100, this podcast is for you, because you're all still stuck at home, probably being homeschooled. Oh, and here's an idea, if you are being homeschooled, why not tell your large sausages but with a grumpy face, sorry, grown-ups, that today at school you would have had a supply teacher come in, and they have to abide by that because that's what would have happened at normal school, right? And then they can go away for a bit and you can pretend your cat or dog or hamster or pet fly is in charge, and you can either spend the day doing what you like because those cats or dogs or hamsters or pet flies aren't really going to care, or you can try to learn the things that they teach you, such as sleeping in the sun, or trying to catch a bird, or, landing on poo, or storing things in your cheeks while running on a wheel. Much like a real supply teacher would do. I hope that helps. Get in touch and let me know how you get on. What will definitely also help is that yet again on today's show I have got another brilliant, amazing comedian to answer one of your excellent questions. But who is it today, and just what are they going to answer? There is my pumpkin! I am joined on today's show by the brilliant Ed Petrie, aka Edjamin Petroleum, aka E-Pete, aka Ed Petrie. How are you, Ed? Are you well?
I am very well, Tiernan, yes. Only one of those names is a name I don't use. I use all the others.
Oh, wait, sorry, which one do you not use?
I'm not telling you.
Okay, I'll not use any of them ever again. And should I just refer to you as something like or Mr.
Captain, my captain will do.
Captain, my captain. I'll call you Captain, my captain for the rest of the podcast so that I don't offend you yet again. That would be great. Yeah. And how are you? Are you you're at home, I'm guessing, as we all are, as everyone
Yes, locked in my home, Tiernan.
Have you locked the doors?
Yes, I don't like the outside world. Never did.
Have you been in there since before the rest of us had to stay in? Have you been?
Yeah. I was ahead of the curve. Yeah, a whole month. I was like, I've had enough of this. I've had enough of fresh air and other people. And now you're all doing it as well. I was doing it first.
You're a trendsetter.
Yeah.
That's quite amazing. And are you planning to sort of keep going once this is all over as well?
Oh, absolutely. I'm never leaving this house again.
How are you getting food and things? Are people sort of pushing it through the letterbox, or are you
exactly,
just eating
yes,
things
through the letterbox directly into my mouth to save time and energy?
That's great.
Yeah, it works very well. I'm very happy with it so far.
Does that work for all foods?
Well, the souffle was a bit of a problem.
And what about like soup? Do they sort of push a straw through and then you just drink straw? Or? Yeah,
soup. I suck through the keyhole.
Oh, that's clever. That's very clever. You've really thought this through.
Yeah.
I'm
really ill.
Yeah, you must be. Who's delivering all this stuff to you? Is the rest of your family with you in the house, or are you making them push things through the keyhole?
I make my wife climb out the window. She goes down the shops and then she feeds me through the door.
That's really kind of her. That's real love. That is. Wow.
The neighbours are staring at us, but I don't care because I'm not going to see them again because I'm never going to leave the house.
I think it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what they think because you'll never leave. So
Exactly.
That's great. That's the attitude I think we should all be having right now. Absolutely.
Love that lockdown.
Love that lockdown hashtag. I think we should get that started and trending around the world.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy this for what it is. It's soup through the keyhole via a straw. That is beautiful. Well, as you're so very good at this, and obviously all the listeners maybe aren't as professional at being in lockdown as you are, Ed. Sorry, my captain. Could you?
Yes, thank you.
What's your tip for sort of being stuck indoors? What do you do to kind of keep yourself entertained?
Just creating DIY projects. So just breaking things around the house and then fixing them again. Hanging off cupboard doors, kicking off my banisters.
Wow.
Anything you can fix, keep you busy. Do the same thing with your dad's kids. Just create jobs for them around the house. Smash the kitchen cupboards off. Prise tiles off the floor. Anything that would keep your mums and dads busy. It's all about keeping busy around the house.
That's a really good idea. Is there anything you've managed to break and not been able to fix?
Yeah, the TV. That wasn't very sensible of me. So yeah, no TV for the time being. So I'm just getting my children to dress up as superheroes, so I can pretend I'm watching Marvel films. That's
a really good idea. Yeah, how do you attempt to fix a TV? Do you just sort of sellotape all the bits back together? Or?
Yeah, I tried that, and it didn't work. So I think maybe it's a little bit more complex than that. I should watch a Google video about it really, but I smashed up my laptop as well.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
But I bet that's like a true professional wouldn't need a Google video, so I think you've done the right thing.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you've got to. That's how you learn, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Teach yourself.
Trial and error. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think that's a great tip for kids to be going around breaking things in their house so their parents can fix them. That's right. And keep them busy. And what should the kids be doing while their parents, fixing these things? Should they be cheering on support or offering,
just shouting faster, do it faster? Because whenever you're doing a task, that always helps, and it's in no way annoying.
That's a really great tip. Thank you, Captain, my captain. I really appreciate it. And I think
all
the listeners will be.
And no need for parents to thank me for that advice as well. Don't go emailing me or tweeting me your thanks. It's just my little gift to you.
I mean, I'm glad you said that because I think you would get so many emails. I mean, which you wouldn't be able to receive because your laptop's broken anyway.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want all those letters pushed through when you're expecting a souffle.
Yeah, well, I know it might end up stuck in my gullet.
Yeah,
very hard to clear.
Be really awful. So I'm very pleased you said that. So don't thank Ed, Captain, my captain. That would be awful. And of course you're here on the Comedy Club for Kids podcast, Radio Nonsense today, as it's audio. And I know you actually did this for us before in season 1, but I wondered if you've got a favourite noise that you can share with the listeners.
Oh yes, my favourite noise. Well, my favourite noise at the moment is my creaking knees.
Oh.
Yes, from because we're not able to get out and do as much exercise as we like, and I'm getting increasingly old. And when I do a squat now, my knees make a funny sort of scrunching sound, and I love it because I never wanted knees that work properly in the first place.
It's more interesting having creaky knees.
It is. I look back on those days of being able to bound around for hours on end with no aches or pains, and I just feel sorry for my former self because I have so much more interest in my life now with a mildly arthritic ankle and creaking knees.
I think. And do you ever do you have creaky stairs at home? Because I wonder if the knees and the stairs kind of work in harmony.
No, because I'm so good at DIY-ing, and my stairs don't make a noise.
Sure. Are they there anymore? Do you have stairs?
Yes, I've actually smashed them up 3 times and rebuilt them. Got on board.
Yeah, that's a shame. You could have had a lovely Creek symphony going on, but I think it's better that you keep yourself entertained. Fantastic. So, creaky knees. Could you just give us an impression of how your creaky knees? I'm guessing you don't want to be squatting while doing this show.
They this is genuinely the sound they make. It sounds like a ball of paper scrunching, like a sort of noise.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Well, apart from your creaky knees, obviously, the other thing that I need to ask you is that this podcast is for everyone aged 6 to 99, but not 100-year-olds. You need to stop. And so I've just got to check that you're not going to be saying any rude words at all to make sure that this show is suitable. What rude word won't you be saying on today's show?
Yeah, well, I am, of course, a consummate professional. As you can tell by the interview so far, having worked in children's entertainment for many, many years, I won't be saying the word Piers Morgan.
Oh.
Yeah, you don't want to say. I got in terrible trouble once saying Piers Morgan at school after an exam. I said, I made a right Piers Morgan of that. And I was expelled.
Yeah, I mean, I fully understand why. I think that's possibly the worst thing that anyone could ever say.
I think so. I'm hard pushed to think of a worse thing to say than Piers Morgan, really. It's even worse than Jeremy Clarkson.
Oh, goodness. I mean, those are the sort of words, even if you sort of, if like an animal made that noise by accident, I'd send it to the moon.
I wouldn't even be able to get anywhere near it. It would be such a scary animal. I'd rather confront a spitting cobra than an animal saying Piers Morgan, which is why I will not be saying Piers Morgan.
Well, thank you. Please, no Piers Morgans on today's show. The very thought of it makes me want to sick my face off. So
it makes me want to sick my face off as well, Tiernan.
Yeah, let's not do it. Let's not do it for the kids. Cool. Well, thank you, Ed. And obviously now the most important bit is that we have had a question sent in.
From a question?
Yeah, we've had a question. We've had a question sent in. Yeah, I know, it's very exciting.
I love questions.
Good. Well, I know you do. And I thought this question would be, specifically good for you. I think you would know how to answer this.
The question: how much money are you earning at the moment? Because the answer is nothing. No money.
Oh, well, that's because you've chosen to you've been indoors for months. I mean, I feel like you've slightly done that to yourself.
I never liked money anyway. Now, what's the real question?
The real question has been sent in from Lola, aged 10, and she would like to know why food that is supposed to be healthy, like beans and sprouts, is also the food that makes us fart the most.
Oh, well, I know the answer to that one.
Do you?
Yes.
What is it?
Well, it's a conspiracy.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a conspiracy by UK seaside towns.
That's not who I expected it to be. A conspiracy.
Yeah, no, exactly. That's why it's such a clever conspiracy. So, when you eat a lot of baked beans or Brussels sprouts, you create a lot of methane gas. And methane gas contributes to global warming. And UK seaside towns have realised that if the temperatures in Britain go up, then less people will go abroad because the hot countries will be too hot, but they'll want to go on holiday to British seaside towns. So they pump huge amounts of money into the promotion of Brussels sprouts and baked beans to raise the temperatures globally, encourage more people to go to UK seaside towns. And that's why if you go to Worthing-on-Sea, you'll find that the restaurants and cafes, they only serve chili con carne.
Wow.
You can't get any other food in Worthing-on-Sea.
That's really devious.
Yeah. It is devious.
They don't care about the other effects of global warming. They just want you to go to fart loads.
Yeah. But you go to any seaside town, Brighton, Southend, you see what they're serving on the menu. Pretty much chili con carne, Brussels sprouts, baked beans.
Wow. And is that why there's often quite a wind? You have to get
exactly. That's why they're so windy. You see?
Yeah.
It makes sense.
It does all make sense. And how do they get those foods so farty though? Because if they weren't tampering with those foods, could you just eat a bean and then not fart for the rest of the day?
Well, they make them extra farty by getting cows to fart into them at the factory.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Yeah, it's what they do. It might be disgusting, but it's what they do, Tiernan.
I can't imagine that. I mean, I'm worried. Obviously, it's a family-friendly podcast. I'm worried about asking too many questions about this, but I'm guessing, do the cows sort of have to fart into a funnel, and then the funnel is kind of directed into a bean? How does it work?
That's pretty much how it works. Yes, the cows fart into a pipe, and then the pipe goes into a hypodermic needle, and each baked bean is injected individually
with a fart.
Yeah, and then the cows are fed baked beans, Brussels sprouts, and chili con carne. So it's a kind of endless loop, really.
There's a really vicious circle.
Yeah.
Wow.
So, you heard it here first.
Yeah, I mean, thank you for this information. I feel this is really important, but I feel like maybe we should be doing something to stop this because global
Oh,
warming
don't
is
worry.
terrible.
I'm writing a story in the Guardian that's going to be published shortly about it. So stand by for that. It's going to change everything.
That
I'm
should
lifting the
change.
lid. I'm lifting the lid on the baked bean UK seaside town conspiracy.
Well, that's amazing. Thank you for your service. I feel like you're doing us all an incredible duty.
I am.
Is there anything that listeners can do? Should they be, what happens if while they're stuck at home, their mums and dads offer them like, beans for tea?
Yeah, don't eat it. Just throw it at the wall, and it'll give them a DIY project to do. Painting it.
Wow, so saving the planet and keeping your parents entertained in one fell swoop.
Doing one.
That's amazing. Wow. Oh, well, thank you, Ed. That's probably brilliant. I don't think I don't think Lola, when she asked that question, knew there was quite so much behind it.
No, well, there is. Yeah, it's but that's part of what I'm here for, is to, as I said, lift that farty lid.
Oh, don't lift it. Leave it on. I don't think anyone wants to release it.
Talking of, you can't hear my children down there, can you?
No, I can't. No.
No, sorry, I don't want to say down there. They're not in the cellar. They're downstairs. Good.
Are you sure?
Yeah, this is so weird. Having all my family confined in this small space and trying to do things like this. So yeah, apologies if you can hear them in the background.
No, we absolutely can't hear them whatsoever. Even though I'm sure they're working busy to try and find what food will fit through the letterbox.
Yeah, it's actually they don't even exist. I don't even have children. I'm just pretending they're there because it's what everybody else does when they're doing these lockdown broadcasts these days.
Is that what
just trying to make themselves sound more interesting?
Do you think that Lola, age 10, is actually Sue, age 47?
Probably.
Very possible. We're all just pretending that there are kids at home with her.
I'm amazed that any parent would actually let their kid listen to this after what I've been saying. So there probably is just adults listening by now. The rest of the adults have probably turned it off. Very likely.
I'm pretty certain. Cool. Well, thank you for answering that question so succinctly. I feel like we've got a lot to go on there. Lola's got a lot of work to do on stopping herself from eating more beans and sprouts to save the planet, really, and all the kids do. So thank you for that.
No worries. And because there is a lot of homeschooling going on at the moment, I would say do incorporate that into a school project and tell your teachers about it as well, and you'll get top marks.
That's a really good idea. Whenever schools return in the year sort of 2034, they can come back in and say, I've made a project showing you how cows fart into beans.
And can I just say, I'm so jealous. Can you imagine, Tiernan, when we were kids, this was just beyond the realm of possibility that your school would close early and you would get like the biggest summer holiday in all of history.
Yes.
How did this happen? This is so unfair. Why did this not happen to me when I was at school?
I don't know. I don't know, Ed. I've maybe you need to sort of time travel. Could young you try time travel to now?
Yeah. What, take the coronavirus back to the 1990s?
Yes, in fact,
and unleash it just so I can get an extra long summer holiday.
Well, and also then the lockdown might be over by now, and then we could go outside now, but you would have not had to go to school. I think that sounds like the best plan.
Yeah, that would work brilliantly.
It's a really good idea. But yeah, I know exactly.
Sorry, I interrupted you there. Anyway, I'm just insanely jealous of all these kids getting holidays that we didn't get.
I know. It's so they've got like the holiday. They're just on holiday forever. but with their parents making them like do homeschooling, and while they're having to spend a lot of time breaking stuff so their parents can fix it. So I guess actually it's a lot more hard work than you think.
Yeah, actually, yeah, you do have to expend a lot of energy when you're kicking those banisters off of the stairs.
That's it. And it's more exhausting than PE in many ways, I think. I wanted to ask you that because I know that you mentioned homeschooling. Kids need stuff in the day, and I know that you are doing something most days or every day for people to watch. What is that?
Oh yes, so basically to get myself out of bed in the morning, I'm reading Roald Dahl books live 8 a.m. every day on my YouTube channel, Official Ed Petrie. The not at all pompously named Official Ed Petrie YouTube channel.
Is there an official one? Or...
Yes, but I don't like to talk about him. So I've read The Magic Finger so far. I just started Fantastic Mr. Fox today, and I'm doing like 10-15 minutes a day. And my intention is to keep on going until either the lockdown ends or I've done the entire Roald Dahl box set. And the box set is quite big, so I'm hoping the lockdown is finished before then, actually.
And have you got what if you get through the whole Roald Dahl set? Have you got someone lined up for afterwards? Are you going to start going through the thesaurus or dictionary? Or
yeah, the Bible.
Bible, good call, excellent call, yeah. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for your time, and thank you for your fascinating answers, and well done on not saying Piers Morgan even once during.
Yeah, no, I'm very good at not saying Piers Morgan. I never have, and I never will say Piers Morgan, especially not on podcasts like this for children.
Good. I'm very pleased, and I look forward to seeing you soon. Except I never will, because you're staying in your house forever.
Yeah, I'm never coming out of here. I love it in here.
Thank you so much to Ed, Captain My Captain, for that. And do check out his YouTube channel, Official Ed Petrie, for him reading Roald Dahl live every morning. It is absolutely excellent. I hope that was a good enough answer for you, Lola, or should I say Sue? We will never know. But what we do now know is that cows fart directly into beans after eating beans, and I think we're all a lot better off with that knowledge. I mean, really... That's when we come out of this, when we're able to go outside and run around in fields and things again, we'll all say, well, now we know that cows fart into beans after eating beans, and that's so important. What questions do you have that need to be answered? It can be about anything at all, and I promise I will find a completely unsuitably knowledged comedian to answer it for you. Ask those large sausages with grumpy faces, grown-ups, to help you email us at podcast@comedyclub4kids.co.uk, and anything that gets sent through will be on a future episode. Maybe ask them to help you review the show too, subscribe and tell everyone you know about it and to listen to it too. Either you can do that on phone calls when you speak to your friends or FaceTime, or maybe just shout it out of the window at your neighbours. Oi, neighbours, listen to that podcast and there is my pumpkin. They might have stolen your pumpkin, I'm not sure. Or, when your supply teacher has finished teaching you and you let them out for a day, maybe ask them to pass a message on to next door while they poo in their garden. Could be very useful. This will be back with more important answers to the universe and everything. Don't forget to wash your hands and brush your nose. Bye! You have been listening to Comedy Club for Kids Presents. Radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense, radio nonsense. It's the end.